Okay, can you use your phone? Yeah. Thank you. Good afternoon. The committees on water and land and the committee on housing is on its agenda of April 1st, Friday, and we're in room 229. This hearing is being streamed live online. We'll be taking testimony from folks who are in person and online, and just to let you know that there is a 2-minute countdown on your testimonies as well. In the event we are cut off due to technical difficulties, we'll have to abruptly end this hearing and reconvene to discuss any outstanding business at the end of our agenda on Monday, April 4th, starting at 1 p.m. So members will be proceeding then with SCR 17, and it is accompanying SR 11. This is requesting the Department of Land and Natural Resources Commission on Water Resource Management to conduct a study on water resources for the development of affordable housing. Testifying for the commission on water resources, let's see, Kaleo Manuel, aloha.
Aloha, chairs, vice chairs, and committee members. Kaleo Manuel, deputy with the Water Commission. We're standing on our written testimony, offering comments, highlighting that we do support affordable housing and the proper planning for that. However, we believe the current study or the study proposes is duplicative of the work that's already being done within the Hawaii Water Plan. And we're here to answer any questions. I have staff Neil Fujii and Ryan Imata here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kaleo. Members, we do have 6 in support. We got 3 oppositions. And while Kaleo is there, anyone has any questions at this time of Kaleo for SCR SCR 17 and SR 11. Okay, let's proceed then to SCR 232, and this is requesting the Office of Planning and Sustainable Development to convene a multi-agency working group to make recommendations for planning, coordinating, and implementing the objectives and policies for housing in the Hawai'i State Plan. Okay, Office of Planning. Rodney, are you on today? Aloha, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Chairs Chang and Inoue, Vice Chairs and members of the committees. The Office of Planning and Sustainable Development wishes to offer comments. We support the intent clearly, but we lack also the staff capacity to undertake this well. So what we would request if the measure were passed is to provide for some staff and funding to undertake the study. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We do have communication as well from Hawaii Public Housing for comments. Kim sent in, and Office of Information Practices. Hakim or Cheryl, are you both online there? Otherwise, we do have your testimony. Members, any questions of any of the testifiers? Hearing none, then housing. Senator Chang.
Thank you, Chair Inoue. Our next item today is SCR 160, SR 152, requesting the establishment of a process for affordable housing projects in the Commission on Water Resource Management to address Hawaii's housing shortage. We have several testifiers. First, DLNR, Commission on Water Resource Management, with comments.
Aloha, chairs, vice chairs. Again, Kaleo Manuel, deputy with the Water Commission. We'll stand on our written testimony, providing comments. We work with everyone to develop our Hawaii Water Plan. And there is really no authority right now currently within the code to do any pre-authorization, and that any additional or separate permitting process really, we believe, is unnecessary at this time. And we're here to answer any questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation in support. DHHL with comments. Office of Hawaii County Mayor Mitch Roth in support. County of Hawaii Office of Housing and Community Development in support. Ashley Aubrey Native Hawaiian Legal Corporation in opposition. National Parks Conservation Association in opposition. Hawaii Leeward Planning Conference in support. Hawaii Island Economic Development Board in support. Loke Aloua in opposition. Craig Bo Kahui in support. Okay. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on SCR 160 or SR 152? Okay. Not members, are there any questions or discussion for this measure, for these resolutions? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the next pair of resolutions. This is SCR 178 and SR 171, requesting the Department of Land and Natural Resources, in consultation with the State Historic Preservation Division and the Island Burial Councils, to contract review of proposed affordable housing projects to third-party consultants. First, we have HHFDC with comments, followed by GLNR Shipty with comments.
Aloha chairs, vice chairs, members of the committees. I'm Alan Downer. I'm the administrator of the State Historic Preservation Division. The department stands on its written testimony offering comments. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on SCR 178 or SR 171? Okay, if not, any questions or comments, members? Okay. If not, I think we're ready to go into recess,
Okay.
and then we'll come back for decision making.
Okay, the committees on water and land and the committee on housing is going into decision-making on its agenda for Friday, April 1st. Members on SCR 17 and SR 11, the chairs has recommended that we defer this measure indefinitely for this year. And for SCR 232, and this is the Office of Planning and Sustainable Development to convene the multi-agency working group. We'd like to pass this with amendments. First off, we would want to take the OIP's written testimony, and that's deleting the Sunshine Law exemption on page 2, lines 13 to 14. And in the committee report, that we will include language of OPSD staffing and funding concerns along in this measure, but this will be in the committee report. Members, any discussion? Seeing none or heard none, Senator Revere for the vote on the Committee on Water and Land is to pass SCR 232.
With amendments.
With amendments, chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye. Senator Keith Agron is excused. Senator Misa Lucha is excused. I vote aye. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Measure is adopted, Chair.
Okay, your committee on
Thank you.
housing.
And so for the Committee on Housing, the same recommendation to pass SCR 232 with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye, Senator Moriwaki.
Aye.
Senator Rhodes.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, you have 5 ayes, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Okay, that takes us to SCR 160 and SR 152. Having conferred, the chairs are concerned about the need for affordable housing, but we'll be deferring this resolution at this time. And then our final item today, SCR 178 and SR 171. Chairs having conferred, the recommendation will be to pass this with amendments, with technical amendments. And we'll also note in the committee report DLNR's request for funding for a third-party consultant. So again, for SCR 178 and SR 171 for the Committee on Housing, the chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye, Senator Moriwaki,
Aye.
Senator Rhodes,
Aye.
Senator Favela,
Aye.
Chair 5 ayes, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you.
Okay, the Committee on Water and Land to pass SCR 178, SR 171 with amendments. Any discussions? Hearing none. Senator Revere for the vote. Chair goes aye.
Noting the excused absence of Senators Keith Agarone and Misa Lucha, I vote aye. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Measure adopted, Chair.
Thank you.
Great. And there be no further business. This joint committee hearing is adjourned.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. The Committee on Water and Land is continuing its joint hearing. This time on the notice of hearing of April 1st, Friday, is with the Committee on Government Operations. And members will proceed then with the first item. And this is SCR 189, SR 182. And this is urging the state and the counties to consider the history and reasons why lands are zoned a particular way and ensure that those lands are maintained to protect, serve, and provide for the Native Hawaiian communities. DLNR, Ian or Russell? Russ, you're going to take this one?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes, good afternoon, chairs. Russell Tsuji for the department. Again, we respectfully oppose this measure. We looked at the resolution very carefully and just couldn't see the connection between the land use planning and zoning with what is trying to be achieved or here in this resolution. And so we respectfully ask that it be held. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Russell. Land Use Commission, Dan Orendecker. Dan or anyone of Land Use Commission? Okay, I believe he was going to be on. Land Use Commission members has communication in opposition on this measure. We do have the City and County of Honolulu, Department of Planning and Permitting, Dean Ochida sends communication in opposition. City and County, anyone there? Zando Kern, County of Hawai'i Planning Department, sends communication in opposition as well. And we have in support Jody Green, Kimiona Kane, and Keke Manera in support. Members, any questions of DLNR or any comments? Hearing none. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Your name? Okay, come on. Yep. Come on up. Introduce yourself and mahalo for patiently waiting with us.
Mahalo. Thank you, Chair and committee members for hearing me today. My name is Kapua Madaris. I sit on the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board. I was helpful in making this resolution to protect our community from losing more agriculture lands, which really has been a problem in our community. Currently, we found out late that there was a project that was looking to get permitted for the area of Norfolk, which sits right near many cultural sites, and it is ag land. And the proposed project is called a cluster ag lot, where the developer decided that he would put 4 ag lots together, put the 4 homes right in the middle, so as to leave more room for farming. But when you look at the homes, they look like $1 million homes. They don't look like homes that people in Waimanalo can afford. So that leads us to believe. We invited Kumu Kawaikapu Okalani Hewitt to our meeting to discuss that, because he had seen that growing up in Haiku. And he advised us to write this resolution and to submit it, because he said in his day in Haiku, it was the same thing happened there. They had lots of farmers, and that's where they got most of their food from. And then one day a developer came in and said, we're gonna do gentlemen farms. And we're gonna take all these farm lots and we're gonna cut it down into smaller farms. And then you'll have more farmers. If you drive through Haiku at this time, do you see any farming going on there? No, there's none. Today, all there is $1 million homes there. So this is why we submitted this. Another problem was that as soon as we saw it at the DPP for a hearing, some of our members tried to get in there to testify, and were not allowed to. And that to me is heva, because it should always, the community should be notified first before even a project is even set to be permitted. But we had no clue of this until we saw it come up for a notification. And to me, that's why we're asking, because I saw the opposition written by the DLNR, and they say that they already currently are doing these things. But if they were, then every step would have been followed. Our community would have been notified. We would have been at those hearings. So apparently they're not doing it currently. So if you can please talk to them about doing it, because we have the same issue. And it's funny to me that the very organizations and offices that we are having issues with within our Hawaiian communities are the DPP, the DLNR, and the SHPD. All of those who are not currently living up to the task that they are handed, that they are given as a kuleana, they're not living up to it. So they're the ones opposing this. And that to me sounds really fishy. So I would hope that as a committee, you guys would take my testimony into consideration, as well as our chair of our neighborhood board, Kimiona Kane, as well as our other neighborhood board committee members who make up our community and come regularly because they care about what happens in our community and they want to see the best for our next 7 generations. But once you guys once you allow this to happen, it's gone forever and we can't go back. So I'm asking you, please don't turn Waimanalo into another Haiku where we have only $1 million homes and no more ag lots and no more food sustainability. Thank you very much. You have a beautiful and blessed day. Aloha.
Mahalo. Can I ask, so the places where those homes are they fee simple and by private developer?
That I'm not sure. I thought it was ag lots were lease lands, but I know that that's at the I know that that is sitting at the Norfolk area and in Kalamai, but that's just not my area of knowing. Yeah, so I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
Sorry.
And that one is at Waimanalo or which part? of
It's
the-
in our Ahupua'a,
Oh, okay.
but it's, so
Okay.
that's still considered our area right there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like between Olomana and between Kailua, Enchanted Lakes and Waimanalo.
Mm-mm.
Right there at our sign where it says, welcome to
Oh,
Waimanalo.
okay.
It's up on the hill. And formerly they had some, $1 million mansions looking things there, but that's agriculture land. Yeah, that's all agriculture land and it's gonna go extend up.
Unless they came up to the city and county to do a rezoning, to change the designation. If there's no activity of ag, so I think we probably gotta check what the zoning is for that particular area.
Looking
Yeah.
at the whole picture, we don't want any more ag land
Yeah,
and
I
conservation
understand.
land to be rezoned to other kinds of lands when it should stay ag land. It should
Okay.
stay
One thing
conservation
I'd
land.
like to point out, and it's done in the county of Hawaii, my island, when there's any development that occurs or any change to a particular land use, the county gives and puts up signs on the property to say that there's going to be a change in the zoning area and that it tells a developer that you have to notify the adjoining properties or for comments, and there's a time period. So I'm surprised that the city and county of Honolulu doesn't do that, because like you're saying, all of a sudden there's these homes coming up. So
Mhm.
I can see the impact,
Yes.
to the adjoining
Right.
properties. But on the development side, it's all in the city and county. That's why I was asking, who owns the property if it's a private development. But
Right.
we certainly appreciate your comments today.
Thank you.
Mahalo for coming.
Can I just add one more thing? I'm very leery of the developer himself because he was involved in the Cocoa Palms project on Kauai. And it's the same exact developer. If you know any history about that, you're gonna know that there was a very corrupt things going on with that. And I personally talked to some of the kia'i that were there to protect that, our iwi kupuna there. And they say they were shot at with bullets, so.
Yeah.
I don't want that in
But you're saying
Waimanalo.
that same developer is the one in your area.
Yes, same
Okay,
one.
thank you. Thanks,
So
thank you so
please,
much.
please help us in Waimanalo. Don't leave us flailing to the wind. to defend
Yeah, well,
ourselves.
it's a joint planning issue, but
Yeah,
one thing that I'd like to see though, and that rests with my committee as well, Water and Land, is a review of what we do with the Office of Planning as well, because there's only one committee, but the full responsibility for the development of the INA rests with the city and county of Honolulu. So, that's going to be some work for me this year. And as well, looking at statutes, but I just wanted to share with you when you mentioned Kapu Hewitt's, we'll be confirming him on
Okay.
Ahumoku next
Awesome.
week. So
Thank
he'll
you
be
so much.
participating back into the recommendations
yes.
that our
awesome.
committee will be hearing them next week.
All right,
okay.
awesome.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Aloha.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? I had Madara's, your first name? Kapua, okay, mahalo. Senator Favela, you.
Was that DLNR?
Russell, you're there, Russ.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Senator Favela.
Yes, you said you read the resolution and I just wanted some clarification. Because if we as stewards of the land, yeah, you're saying that, whether you guys doing it or you guys cannot do them, what would be the reason why you guys cannot provide these ways of ensuring now going forward, and all the problems that we be having with DPP going forward? So how is it? Why would this prevent you guys from doing something to the sort?
As to lands in Waimanalo or lands in general. Now, our jurisdiction on the land use planning side and zoning is limited to the conservation district. And if, so I'm sure whatever the testifier was talking about was not in the conservation district. And if that was the case, those people who are proposing uses within the conservation district have to go through this application process and a permit process through the land board. And that is, there'll be a public meeting and there'll be a lot of opportunity for public comment, even at the final stage, which is the land board meeting. Yeah. As far as just overall land use planning and zoning, as to ag land versus urban land or rural lands, the board does not have jurisdiction in that area. That's number one. But number two, we could not see the connection between what it appears was trying to be the problem that I guess the reso was trying to resolve as being connected to land use planning. Now, I heard the testimony, and that sounded like a public hearing or permitting at DPP issue, and whether there was opportunity for comment. I cannot speak for that, but because I was not involved and not aware of anything that DPP was doing. But I can say I think DPP has in its requirements, in its rules and statute and ordinances and stuff, for public hearing and opportunity to be heard. So I'm not sure. I cannot really speak on that issue. I'm sorry if did I address your question, sir?
Yeah, kind of somewhat. So it said that the city and county is not here because they seem to be the problem in a lot of our cases on the agricultural side. They put stuff into play and they say you get 30 days to respond, but then how you gonna know if they don't publicly, like how you say, the land board posted and give public hearing on the DPP side, they're not recommended or even obligated to do it. So how anybody gonna be able to testify? Thank you, Chair. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you, members. Then let's proceed with SR 24, requesting the auditor to conduct an audit of the Department of Land and Natural Resources State Historic Preservation District. First, let's see. Sorry about that. Change folders. Okay, Shipti, Dr. Downer, aloha.
Aloha Chair, aloha chairs, vice chairs, members of the committee. I'm Alan Downer, Administrator of the State Historic Preservation Division. Department stands on its written testimony providing comments. I'm available to answer any questions if there are any. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Downer. That's it for the testimonies for SR 24 members. Any discussions? Hearing none, then that's it for the agenda for today. Chair?
I just have one question of Dr. Donner. Then you're saying that you don't have the resources to do this, reso. What would you require to do it? Does
They
it
don't
seem?
pay for the auditor.
With auditor?
Yeah, there's no,
Okay,
there's
so
there's no cost to
but
the
I
agency.
think you had mentioned that it's going to take a lot of resources from your office to do this. But if the auditor were to do this, would you have any concerns then?
Well, there are two resource questions. One is actually paying for it, and it's not
I
entirely.
think this one the
clear.
auditor is going
Yeah.
to do, but you said that it would require resources from your
Sure.
side, but if the auditor is doing it, then it should not be a problem. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, the second comment was that the auditor will be asking us to produce documents, they'll be interviewing staff, and doing those things are things that will be potentially time consuming depending on how the auditor actually engages with SHPD staff on it. And,
Thank you.
obviously if they're doing that, they're not doing other things like project reviews.
That's it. Thank you, Senator. Okay, let's see, do you, you're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, did you give me the recommendations?
Sorry, it's in here. Okay, we can give to,
Yeah, her copy as well. No, maybe we don't need to go into session.
No,
To
no,
recess,
just
yeah.
go straight.
Yeah, IT we'll just continue on decision making. We won't go into recess. Okay, so this one here will defer. Yeah, the first one, and then pass as is on the audit. Okay, okay. Members, we're going into decision making, and for SCR 189, SR 182, we'll defer this indefinitely. However, this is going to be a continued work with water and land, because I think we need to at least make sure that our counties as well abide by, and it's going to be interesting to do some research on each counties and come up to at least some recommendations eventually. And these are issues that seems to occur in different islands, which unfortunately is not in our direction on the state properties as well. With regards to SR 24 on the audit, chair's recommendation is to pass this measure as is. Any discussion? Hearing none for the Committee on Water and Land, then will the recommendation for the committees is to pass as is. For the Committee on Water, Land, chair votes aye. Thank you, Senator Revere.
Okay, Water and Land Committee, we're voting on SR 24. Chair's recommendation pass unamended. Chair votes aye. Senators Keith Agarone and Misa Lucha are excused. I vote aye. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Adopted, Chair.
Thank you.
For the same recommendation for, to pass with unamended SR 24 for the Government Operations Committee, chair votes aye. Vice Chair De La Cruz excused. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Gabbard.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Thank you, the Committee on Government Operations as well. This concludes the joint hearings, Water, Land, and Government Operations.
Very good.
Mahalo.